Good morning. Welcome to, this isn't really a lecture, it's just a little talk on how to maximize your success on the final project, which again is the only thing you have due this week, and it's not actually due until Tuesday night. I will not be accepting any late finals because I have to have my grades turned in Wednesday, and I'm leaving the state on Wednesday. So I've given you a few extra days, and in exchange for those few extra days, I'm going to be very hard-nosed and no late papers. I'm going to be grading those Wednesday morning and getting your final grades in. I'll just need to add these and your participation score. So just to maximize your success, I want to make sure you read carefully the assignment. I provided it to you in week 6. It's a little different now, only in that I have taken away some of the source requirements. So you don't have to have 8 sources with 4 peer-reviewed. You have to have 6 sources with 3 peer-reviewed. I want to make sure, and we covered this in the meetings, and I think we did a good job. It needs to be an argumentative essay, and it cannot be arguing that your problem is a problem. That's not a good argument. So we know your problem is a problem. How are we going to address it? So in those meetings, we made sure we massaged your existing research questions to make sure you had, defining the problem. What is the problem? Why is it a problem? What has caused the problem? And what are the effects? And what are the ideas being floated on how to address it? And of those ideas, which ones do you think are the strongest, right? So that's going to be part of the grading rubric, how clearly you have that thesis. MLA format, if you're doing the paper, it's 2,000 words, which is not a lot, especially because that number includes your works cited list. So I hope you know how to do word count on Microsoft Word. If not, jump on to Ask a Librarian, shoot me an email. I can make sure you know how to do that, because if your paper is under 2,000 words, you will automatically, you'll have one whole grade lowered. So, if it's an A short paper, you'll still get a B, but if it's a C short paper, you won't pass. So you have to have the meeting. I'm not even going to read the papers if you haven't met with me, because those conversations we have about your research questions and your research questions on how they guide your paper are really important. They're a really important skill for you to have. The development of research questions, the massaging of them to map out the flow of your paper. So if you have not met with me yet, you have to meet with me if you want me to look at your final project. I think I only have one of you doing the presentation, and we've talked. You know who you are. Get in touch with me if you have any questions. Your project too has to be argumentative and exploring the cause and effect of a problem and coming up with some sort of solution. And your length is no less than 8 minutes and no more than 10 minutes. And for the presentation, that's really important. For the paper, it's a minimum of 2,000 words. I don't care how much you go over. So there you go. And that is the assignment, and it is due Tuesday night at midnight, and you will be submitting it through Turnitin.com. So that is just the plagiarism check that we all use. I want you to look carefully at the grading rubric, because literally this is how I grade your paper. I make little miniature copies of this rubric. I print out all your papers because it's easier for me to grade from print. I staple my little rubric and I go through this rubric step by step. And I don't do it in this order. I want you to know I look at MLA formatting first. I get your paper and I just look at it. Are the margins correct? Is the line spacing correct? Is there font consistency? Is it all Times New Roman, including the page number? Is the page number there? just that simple MLA formatting. If you can get that perfect, and I'll pre-check those for you, you can get that perfect, you get a 4 out of 4. The next thing I do is I go over your works cited list, and at that point I look at your source material. I make sure you have the requisite number, that there are 6 sources, that 3 of them are peer-reviewed journal articles, and that they are all correctly cited. And if they're correctly cited and you have those sources, boom, you get your full points on works cited and sources. Sources can change, though, if I don't see those sources cited within the paper, because the next thing I do is I just flip through your paper and I'm looking for the in-text. I'm looking to make sure every source you listed on your works cited list is actually incorporated in your paper and how you've incorporated that. Okay, so that's really important. Make sure you double check that you have actually cited every source you have on the works cited list in your paper, and it's clear where you've done that. And that's the first thing I look at: sources and MLA formatting. Then I go through and I read the paper, and I usually read it 2 or 3 times, and that's when I'm looking for your thesis. That, like, right out of the gate, you introduce your topic and you say what your thesis is, you know, you preview what your solution is, so to speak, and then you go through the paper. I want to make sure the paper is well organized. This is where I look at grammar and mechanics and the quality of information. Meaning, do your sources actually support your ideas? You know, did you actually find sources that help you tell the story of this problem and the causes and the effects and the solution? So I want you to look at this rubric because I look at it and this is exactly how I grade. And then the next thing, the only other thing, is I give you the opportunity to do a Turnitin trial run. Some people get really freaked out about the Turnitin.com. You know, it's possible that you get like 15% plagiarized score, and that's usually just because other people have used your citations. So it sees that this has been used before. Yeah, it's a source that's been used before. Direct quotes will come out, but as long as you put those in quotation marks inside of them, it's not a problem. So I just want you to know what I'm going to see. I don't grade these, so they're optional. You don't get any credit for this. It's just here for you as a tool if you choose to use it. I don't even look at them. I have other things to do, but I do give you that opportunity. So again, read the assignment carefully, look at the rubric, do the Turnitin trial run, and I'm offering to look at your work. If you can get me your work by Sunday, I'll look at all your sources, your MLA formatting, your MLA bibliography, works cited list, your in-text citation. And I will pre-grade that. I will tell you what's wrong, because again, to me, that's an opportunity to teach you. This like one last opportunity, like, oh, you have neglected to capitalize title words, right? You forgot to italicize your database names and your journal names and your works cited list. You put a little P in front of the page number and there's not supposed to be a P there, right? There are little mistakes you will undoubtedly make. Let's nip those in the bud and correct them before you turn in your paper. Again, this is just me trying to maximize your success. I want you to finish strong. I'm available all week to talk to you about your paper. We have full schedule of research help. So if you want to drop in to ask a librarian, do that. Any of my colleagues can help you. Just tell them you're in my class and what you need, and they're going to help you. I'm here via email. I will have some appointments opening up. But if you need me, email me. Don't wait for an appointment to open up. I will help you on the spot. I'll be at work all week. I'll be checking my email obsessively and making sure you guys do the best you can. Okay, good luck, and I'll see you in the course.